Hey friends, in this video we are gonna break down our baby predictions, and my husband's joining me and we're just gonna chat about our experience through this pregnancy, some of our hopes and dreams, and again, just predictions about this little one because we're 40 weeks, so any day now. Tomorrow.
Yeah.
Coming up. Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. If you happen to be new here, my name's Nicole and I'm joined today by my lovely husband, Mike. And this channel is all about helping to make motherhood easier. So I'm sharing tips, tricks, strategies, my own life experience as a pediatric occupational therapist, a certified lactation counselor, as well as a conscious parenting coach and mama to soon to be 2 little ones. So if that sounds like something you're into, do me a favor and hit the subscribe button.
What's up, dads?
Here it is. Dads, your day has come. I actually thought that it would be fun to bring my husband here because obviously I've been detailing my experience through pregnancy, but clearly there's somebody else involved in this process. Yeah, I thought it'd be fun for Mike to talk about his thoughts over the past 40 weeks, what's surprised him, what's been challenging, all that good stuff. So future dads, you know what to expect.
This is our second child, so the easiest thing to do is contrast this experience with the first pregnancy. I'll start with our expectations and the anxiety we had around it. And I mean, for those of you who haven't been following along, one of the biggest differences is that we don't know the gender of our baby. Yeah, it's gonna be a surprise. Whereas with our firstborn, our son Kai, we had a gender reveal party. Everything was planned out, you know, to the T.
The nursery was done way before we had the baby.
I had to remodel our entire house.
Nesting was hardcore that first child.
This pregnancy has been markedly different just because of that alone, that there's only so much planning we can do to begin with, and I think we've both been much more relaxed this time around, knowing somewhat every pregnancy is different, every delivery is different, but we're much more at ease this go around.
Although it has been a more challenging pregnancy in general.
Yeah. Your energy level this go around seems to be zapped. Seems like the baby's bigger, so that could be part of it.
Gained a lot more weight this pregnancy as well.
You wouldn't be able to tell. She's gorgeous as ever. Yeah. As far as, you know, my experience outside of those things, there's not a whole lot that I could do. I'm not doing any of the work other than, you know, setting up the bassinet or, you know, installing the new car seat. Or
you're a huge support in this, and so
thank you.
Yeah, and you know, your partner, your husband, your wife, whatever it is going to play a huge role in helping you get through the challenging times. And so I know that, you know, it hasn't always been easy for him to support me, and so I don't know, maybe you can speak to like what's your best advice to just helping your spouse, your partner move through these 40 weeks as gracefully as possible?
I mean, specifically speaking to dads, patience and empathy go a long way because there's so much that you're going through and your body's going through, and moods and hormones are changing at a pretty rapid clip. It's important to just be able to maintain a steady course, you know, be sort of a bearing for your partner in terms of having something to rely on.
Which
you make it easy.
This is a different story because he's very sweet. I think that if Mike is being honest, this pregnancy, I think I've been a little easier. It was a little more challenging for him the first pregnancy. I think
I'm not kidding. She made me remodel our entire house.
We were gonna remodel the house anyways.
I was up till like 2 a.m. doing flooring.
We just wanted to get it done before the baby came is also there was a timeline, whereas my husband's preference is to maybe just take his time. And if it's half done, it's half done. And, that's cool. Whereas
this time we realized the baby's going to be in a blanket for the first 3 months in the bassinet in our room. So
yeah, we didn't even know. No, we didn't know.
Don't even need any clothes. Just a blanket.
The baby was just going to be on a box, really, because we didn't know which house we were going to be in, and we were in the middle of unpacking. So
it all worked out.
Yeah, learning to surrender, which you will do after the first child, is a huge gift. And I talk to a lot of parents who are going through this the first time. It's like, as second time parents, you have the gift of hindsight, and you realize that the baby is going to be okay. You too will survive even when it feels like you won't. And so it does allow a lot more space to just breathe and relax and just flow with whatever is happening, which is definitely, I think, our experience this time around. Like, as Mike had mentioned, there's no nursery set up. We have a designated room, which is we have the essentials. We have a diaper pail, we have a changing station, and then we have some toys for the baby. The clothes will come.
We have, what do you call it, a glider?
Yes, with a glider that we had with Kai. And so
I love that thing.
Yeah, there are definitely some memories made in that. So just the essentials.
Paintings from grandma.
Some sentimental items, and we just know that we'll put it together in time, and we're excited to just sort of let our child play a role in that and to inspire us in building his or her space. So it'll be a fun and different experience in that way. But Mike has been an incredible partner, obviously, through life, but definitely in pregnancy, just super supportive, flexible, forgiving, because hormones are intense. Emotions can be intense. I'm really grateful. So I wish that for all of you guys as well. Okay, so now let's move into some baby predictions. This is just for fun, obviously. We have no clue. But when I was pregnant with Kai, it's not on YouTube, but I filmed a video that just sort of detailed my hopes and my dreams and my wishes for him. And so I thought it would be fun to kind of follow suit here with Mike, and for both of us to just get on camera and talk about the thoughts that we have in terms of what this baby will be like, what we hope for him or hers. So let's start with the basics, babe. Okay, like literally everybody and everything believes truly in their soul that this baby is a girl. And I don't know if that's just
98%.
Like 99.9.
It's
but I feel like it's rubbed off. Mike was probably the only holdout, and I don't know that he was holding out thinking necessarily that it's a boy, but just he was always playing devil's advocate, like, it could be a boy. I'm like, yes,
because it can.
It technically can. But when asking him, if we're putting our predictions here on camera, is it a boy or a girl?
It's a girl.
Okay. Yeah. So, and I have that similar feeling too. I'll tell you guys a quick, cool story. We went to Sedona when I first got pregnant. I was probably 6 weeks pregnant, and we went on this spiritual, what was it called?
Vortex tour.
A vortex tour, which is really cool. So we got a guide, and he took us to some of the most powerful vortexes in Sedona. And he used a pendant. We went to the strongest vortex, and he used a pendant, and he was talking about how you can speak, in this area and ask yes or no questions, and you will see the pendant swing left or right or front and back to indicate yes or no. And so he asked some basic questions like, do I love my wife, whatever, and got a baseline.
Sky blue.
Yeah, got a baseline. And then he started asking different questions, and the pendant would switch directions. Now, I will say, I thought it was horse crap. I was like, you're moving it. I see you moving your wrist. No. And so he got finished, and then he's like, okay, you can try it. And I'm like, okay, I'll try it, but I'm not putting on a show. Like, I'm just going to hold this thing still. And the first thing I asked was, what was the first thing I asked? I think I asked,
can you ask if you're going to be rich?
Oh yeah, I did. I said, am I going to be rich? And it started swinging, yes, like back and forth. I'm like, oh, sweet, baseline. And then I asked, because I had just gone to a psychic, and the psychic actually told me that it was a boy. And I said, is this baby a boy? And I'm not kidding you. This thing had gained so much momentum already. It completely switched. I was holding it still, and it went, no, left, right. And I was like, is this baby a girl? Swung the opposite direction after it had gained momentum. Yes. And that tripped me out. I had never experienced anything like that before. And Mike had, pretty accurate.
Yeah. I mean,
I think.
I'm going to keep those private, but it was accurate.
It was accurate.
I'll leave it at that.
You'll attest to the accuracy of it. So if the vortex is correct and everybody else's intuition that seems to be pulled to think that this baby is a girl is correct, we are having a little girl. But I'm so sorry to our dear son if this happens to be, because we've projected your gender on you for the past 9+ months, and
we gotta keep it open.
Yeah, that wasn't our intention, but this is just our prediction. Okay, so Kai was born 7 pounds 7 ounces. Do you think this baby is going to be bigger?
Without question.
He didn't even let me finish the sentence. He thinks like. All right, I guess I'm having a bigger child. I was hoping this one just kind of...
Not much. I don't think it's going to hit 8 pounds.
Please.
But, maybe like 7-12, 7-13.
Every ounce counts when you're pushing a baby out. Oh, 7-13. We haven't... Okay. I'm going to go with 7-10 because I don't think this baby's coming 9 days past due like Kai did. So I'm going to go with 7-10. But we shall see. Mike and I were talking in the car the other day, and I thought that these were fun. I asked if he thinks this baby is going to have a similar personality to Kai. Kai, for those of you who don't know, he is super social. He is super loquacious. He will tell you what is on his mind, no matter who you are, what time of day it is. He makes his wants and his needs known. He's also incredibly loving and affectionate. He's very boisterous. So I was asking Mike, do we have another socially inclined child, or do we think that this kiddo is going to be much more reserved and quiet? And Mike said,
I do think that this kid's going to be a bit more reserved and quiet. And I think he or she has already been listening to Kai for the last 9 months, and how he dominates the room. And I just don't think that this child is going to feel the need to do so. A friend of ours said something to me, and that firstborn children tend to identify with their parents, and so Kai seemingly is always trying to establish himself in our world as an equal. It's a fine line to walk, especially from the parenting aspect, but that this friend also then countered that with the subsequent children tend to identify with their siblings. And I think that dynamic alone is going to, it's just a different lens to approach the world through, and I don't think that this child's going to feel compelled to establish themselves in the same way that Kai does, especially in social gatherings. And I mean, when my wife talks about him being social, he, without any regard, just loves engaging with anybody, with adults especially. So we'll go to social gatherings prior to COVID, or the grocery store. I mean, you name it, and he wants to strike up a conversation like he's your equal, and there's nothing wrong with that at all. I don't think that the second child is going to have the same inclination. Yeah, that is very interesting. And I mean, in my experience, generally siblings tend to be quite different. I think it's less common that you have two siblings that have very similar personalities, likes, interests, dislikes. So I think we're just preparing for another child on the other end of the spectrum, which we're happy either way. I think at the end of the day, both of us just hope for a healthy kiddo like anyone else would. But we also, I think there's a little bit of for lack of a better term, fear about having another child that is equally as powerful, boisterous, and vocal as Kai, because, as Mike is saying, with this establishment and learning his place amongst his family and community, it can be a battle of wills. And it's tested us in terms of, he's saying, threading the needle between giving him his independence and letting him explore, but with healthy boundaries. And so to think that there might be a part 2 to that, because some days we're so I feel like we would both be a little on the terrified side of having to
do that twice. So we're hoping that there's a yin and a yang. There's some balance here, some feminine flow, because Kai his masculine energy is definitely there. But again, we're super excited to just nurture whatever this soul is, because it's pretty exciting and cool to know that you're nurturing and nourishing a soul that already has his or her hopes, dreams, life's mission, and we're not here to try to change that or anything. We just are here to guide. And so whatever this child is, we're super excited to learn from him or her and to nurture him or her. Okay, so then we did fun stuff like, do you think this kiddo is going to be athletic? Because Kai is very coordinated. He is very strong. He is like his dad in that he picks up on new activities or new skills really easily. And it's almost, I say this in the most loving way, it's kind of annoying because while everyone else is like on a typical or more common trajectory of like failing and trying again, like these two are just good out the gate and you're like, what's up with that? So I was asking Mike if we have another kiddo who is coordinated, skilled, learns quickly, and is equally active.
I actually think, well, I mean, maybe not equally active.
He's hoping.
Well,
he's like,
I mean, I just can't take the abuse. You know? I think that the second kid might actually have a little bit more talent. We'll see.
I thought that was an interesting answer. Like,
yeah.
he just...
For whatever reason,
he feels like...
Kai has plenty of talents.
Yeah, he's...
But every now and then I scratch my head. You know?
We all scratch our heads every
Yeah. Didn't you say you think this one might be able to sing? Because
I
love you, Kai, but you got your mom's voice.
Excuse you. Excuse you. I don't get the respect I deserve in terms of these vocal cords. They've been disrespected all my life. I come from a family of musically inclined people, and
As do I.
But you can't sing.
I didn't say I could sing.
Okay. We were always thinking...
Sing better than her.
That's not true. This is not true. But we were always thinking, oh, maybe Kai will be able to sing, because he was always like super into music and the rocking and everything, and wasn't this child. So we're like, is our next one going to be able to sing? Because Mike can play, he's great on the piano, and he can pick up any musical instrument he desires to learn. And so I was like, okay, Mike can, because he used to serenade me on the piano. That's how he got me. He played, what did you play? Beethoven's?
Moonlight Sonata.
Oh, Moonlight Sonata. You guys, it was so sexy. I mean, he was like 19 and he's playing me Moonlight Sonata. I'm like, done. So now we need somebody in the family who can really sing. So Mike can play Moonlight Sonata, and one of our children can just carry a tune that just, oof. And we have harmony and beauty in this house, like next level. So yeah, I'm gonna project that. I'm gonna say that this child has the capacity to carry a beautiful tune. I'm calling it in. They can sing me bedtime stories. That'd be nice.
I mean, I just hope that this child loves us and that we mean as much to him or her as he or she already means to us.
Yeah. I was just gonna say, I mean, it's one of those things where it's like, you never know. Every kiddo has their path, and sometimes parenting is extremely challenging, and there are things that come up that are just out of your control. But what I will say is that I do firmly believe that these souls choose us and we choose them back. And so I have all the faith in that journey together, that we're going to give one another everything that we need to become the fully expressed souls that we're here to be. And that's enough for me to hold on to. And of course, we have unconditional love for this baby already, and yeah, we obviously hope that this baby thinks we're as cool as we think this baby is. But more than anything else, I'm just excited to help guide this baby and again help him or her become exactly who he or she is already meant to be. So it's this crazy like beautiful in-between moment, you know, being a family of 3 and holding on to these few last moments together. Like me, Kai, and Mike have had, as any parents about to become parents again, just incredible memories. And Kai's been like our little sidekick along so many vacations and new experiences, and it's just been this incredible ride. And so there's this bittersweetness to like that chapter ending, but also knowing that somehow our hearts are about to expand 10, 20 fold to let more love in and to create more exciting memories as a family of 4. And it's mind-blowing because logically it doesn't make sense. Like, how is that possible? But somehow all of you parents out there who have multiple children just know that it happens and it's beautiful. And to see the relationship and the bond start to form between Kai and this baby is going to be incredibly special too. And so we're in this space of immense freaking gratitude as we sit here in our new home, as we sit here in a new chapter. Yeah, just super excited and wanted to share where we're at with you guys. And hopefully this, I don't know, inspires you, sparks some joy, gets you excited for your adventure and the new chapter that is gonna unfold for you as well. If you guys stuck around this long, thank you. You guys are ride or dies. I know that is a bit all over the place and much different from my typical like more structured videos with like, here's a point, I'm out. But again, thank you guys if you stuck around for this entire video. You're amazing. We appreciate you, and thank you for sharing in our joy, and thank you for sharing in our major life experiences. I don't typically come on here and share a whole lot about family life, but I think it's as you guys share with me, it's like I definitely want to give back and share with you as well and remind you that we are human and we are navigating this thing called life right alongside you. And just because I have maybe more experience in one area of child development or whatever does not mean that we have this parenting thing figured out, or that we don't struggle or, you know, go through the same challenges and obstacles that all of you go through as well. So we are in it with you, sending you lots of love, and thank you again for watching. We'll catch you in the next video. Bye.